mystery plot planning sheet due on Thursday. That means you guys, this is due on Thursday. Hey, up to this point, you should have had your mystery plot planning sheet 1, the first one, where we were just kind of planning characters and setting and all that kind of stuff out. Done, completed, ready to go. You're going to use the information that you put on that first planning sheet to fill out this planning sheet. To fill out this planning sheet, you're going to need to open it up. It is a viewable document. You cannot edit it. Once you open the document, you're going to need to click in the corner where it says File, click on Make a Copy, change the title of the document to whatever your number is, like my number is 0, Mystery Planning Sheet Plot. And then I'm just going to click OK. It's going to save it right into my drive. Once you have a copy saved, you're going to need to go through and fill this out. You will use the information that you put on your first planning sheet to help you fill this out. Can you change it? Absolutely. Please feel welcome to. You do not need to use the same exact information. You can change it as much as you'd like to make it easier to write. All right, folks, let's look at how we do this. So the first thing that you've got to do is briefly describe the main events of your mystery. This is not the space to write the whole mystery. This is to brainstorm. Don't forget to include your problem with the main events and include the solution at the end. A plot is the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. It's kind of the story. It's what's going on. So we're going to go event by event. So the first event in any good mystery is you have to establish the crime. What happened? On the morning of June 3rd, Uncle Bob noticed his prize ukulele was missing from his music store. That's enough of a crime. We have the date. We know where it occurred. We know what the crime is. We'll expand on that when we actually write the mystery. Event 2. What happened after Uncle Bob noticed the ukulele was missing? Well, he introduced the detective. He called Detective Jim Shorts. I'm especially proud of the name Jim Shorts. I thought of that on my own. I thought it was pretty funny. Detective Jim Shorts was called in to investigate. He is a famous missing musical instrument detective. Detective Jim Shorts is famous for solving such musical crimes as the case of the foul clarinet or the case of the imaginary harmonica. Jim Shorts is here to solve the crime using his musical magnifying glass and his wits. Now, I actually already went through and wrote the entire story, and nowhere in this did I use in my events a musical magnifying glass. All right, I have to use this musical magnifying glass when I write it, all right? This is a plot device called a Kliznikov's gun. This is a very complicated plot device. This is a rule in writing quality narrative fiction texts. You would not include anything that does not push the plot forward. So, I have a musical magnifying glass. If I don't use it in the story to somehow solve the case, I shouldn't have it in there. Let's make sure that I use it as I go forward. And if I don't, I'm going to come back and remove it. Don't include anything that doesn't pertain directly to the plot. Third event, introduce the suspect. One of the suspects should also be the antagonist. That's the guy who committed the crime. The bad guy. While investigating, Detective Jim Shorts met Claire Annette. I was also very proud of that name. She worked at Uncle Jim's music store as the cashier. She played wind instruments and liked coffee. I left in 2 very specific things about her. She played wind instruments and she likes coffee. Because at some point, we're going to need a clue that's going to make us think, hey, maybe it was Claire Annette. Something to do with wind instruments and coffee. Again, Kliznikov's gun, I'm only going to include stuff that is going to be used to push the plot forward. I'm not going to include things that don't work with the plot. I'm just not. That's a poor narrative writing if you do it. Event 4, introduce suspect 2. Remember, one of the suspects should also be the antagonist. That's the bad guy. Also, Detective Jim met Mike R. Phone. You see the pattern here? Clarinet, microphone, yeah. Mike also worked at the music store and he liked to sing. He can often be found singing while he works or at least humming to himself. See this? Again, Kliznikov's gun style. There's something we're going to have to use him singing with. There's a clue. It's going to lead us to him. Probably a clue about singing. Event 5. Uncle Bob introduced Detective Jim Shorts to Banjo. the delivery driver who was there to drop off stringed instruments like banjos and ukuleles. Ban is very absent-minded and is always forgetting things like his truck keys. Again, I included this because we're going to use it in the story. So, if I wasn't going to use it, I'd have to get rid of it. Event 6, introduce your clue. First clue, when Detective Jim Shorts began investigating, he soon found coffee stains in the ukulele case. Coffee stains! It could only be Clarinet. Clarinet liked to drink coffee, so Detective Jim Shorts questioned her first. Introduce clue number 2, Event 7, when talking to Clarinet, Detective Jim Shorts learned that she would have no reason to steal the ukulele because she couldn't play stringed instruments. Claire, played wind instruments and thought anything else was inferior. Claire told him to ask Banjo. His favorite instruments were stringed instruments like ukuleles. Motive. Motive is why would you do the thing that you do? So Clarinet had no motive. There's no reason for her to steal the ukulele. But Ban might have a motive. He plays ukuleles. Maybe he took it to play it himself. Event 8. This solves the mystery. You can add more events if you need to. I almost needed to add more events. This got kind of long. Let's go to it. Who done it? Detective Jim Shorts asked Banjo if he could look inside Ban's truck for the missing ukulele. Ban hadn't been able to find his keys in 3 days and couldn't even get into his truck. See, remember how earlier we talked about Ban was constantly forgetting things like his truck keys? And now he's actually lost his truck keys. We used that event to push the plot forward. He told Detective Jim Shorts that he was at the shop last night looking for his keys. The ukulele was there when he arrived and gone when he left. He told Detective Jim that he heard singing while he was looking for his keys, but he forgot to see who it was. See, he forgot. Ban is constantly forgetting things. See how that all kind of works together on that one? Yeah, do that. When Detective Jim asked Mike our phone where he was last night, Mike told him that he was at the shop to pick up the ukulele for a musical gig he had the next day. Uncle Bob had forgotten that he had told Mike he could borrow the ukulele. There was never a missing ukulele. Uncle Bob has been hanging out with Microphone way too much, and they can't remember anything. We solved our case. Now, that sounds like a complete story, but it's not, because I need a beginning, I need a middle, and an end. I'm going to take these events, I'm going to string them together. I'm going to write a complete story that is not due today. Actually, this isn't due today either. This is due on Thursday. I forgot what day it was due on. You're going to go through, you're going to establish your events. Make sure that you don't include events or aspects of your characters, character traits. Don't include anything that isn't going to push the plot forward. All right, folks? Have fun. Be creative. I can't wait to see what you come up with.